स्पोर्ट्स से जुड़ी किसी भी छोटी या बड़ी अपडेट के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें स्पोर्ट्स तक और साथ ही किसी भी नोटिफिकेशन को पाने के लिए बेल आइकन को दबाना ना भूलें।
Well, I must confess, Kuldeep, I'm a big fan of Kuldeep Yadav. I think since he's come, India is getting wickets in the middle stages and winning more one-day matches. So I think it's got to be Chahal, Kuldeep, and then maybe look at the other spinners. So always Kuldeep Yadav in 50 overs cricket and T20 cricket for me before Jadeja. Last test match in South Africa, India had lost the series on a dicey pitch. They were getting blows on their body, but they wanted to play in a series that was already decided just to win. I love the attitude of today's players. Commercial mindedness and all that is part of the game, but I never see that being more in the forefront. I mean, हमारे ज़माने में थोड़ा सा था just playing for your own stuff because situation was different. Now everybody, I at least don't see that really, to be honest. It's an occupational hazard because players are sensitive, and very often what happens is the players actually are not hearing every word that we're saying. So they get a little sort of message from one of their friends that this was said about you. So they're not really listening to the commentary and hearing everything. So somebody told Pollard that Sanjay Manjrekar said that you have no brains. When I have said that he doesn't have the range to, bat at number 4. So Pollard got very angry, he started tweeting angrily against me before he realized that actually what I said was that to bat at number 4 he doesn't have the range of shots. And somebody told him that Sanjay Manjrekar said you had no brains. Then he apologized later. So that happens a lot. But I keep telling players whenever I get a chance, and we are unimportant. We are just little garnish on the main dish. They are the stars. They are in charge of their own destiny. There's nothing we can do about it. Some commentators, used to feel that I can make or break somebody's career. I don't think we are that powerful. So we are just there. We are value add to the broadcast. They are the stars, and they need not worry about what we say, really. The game that is needed, especially when the ball starts moving around or starts turning, is a game that is not really practiced a lot by modern day players. So it's something that they have to develop suddenly, because generally most of the cricket that they play, the ball comes in a straight line. Then you land up in South Africa, it starts moving. So they have to suddenly discover a new game which they don't have with them or, practices. So it's all short-term fix. And I don't see that changing, or I don't see going forward that you'll have batsmen with better defense or skills, subtle skills which are needed in test matches against spinners, defending a spinner on a turning page through the rough and everything. I remember David Gower was defending Narendra Hirwani from the rough with the bat. He had those skills, but that is all we did. That was the only preparation players did. Now their focus is different. The mind space is occupied by 3 formats, out of which if you imagine a disc, then there is T20 cricket, there's 50 overs and a little bit left for test cricket, and even little for where the ball doesn't come in straight line. So it's all going to be short-term fixes, and no amount of preparation is really going to see a complete change. It might just ease the situation better. I expect India to do better because the ball there tends to come in a straight line. So Indian batsmen's problem these days is not so much pace and bounce. It's just, line 1 and 2. Players are generally in their 20s and 30s, and apna wisdom comes a little later, and we are able to look at the larger picture better. So players don't understand what's best for the game. They know what's best for themselves and the team and winning. So that's all they're going to focus on. And that's why I believe that people at the top should be taking their views but not get dictated by it. So the Indian cricket team, for example, is just an entity amongst Indian cricket, and what's best for the game is a completely different matter. So take the players' views, but players don't know what's best for the game. I was a player once. I know I was the same. I would just look for ways to win matches. If the crowd was getting bored, I didn't care for it, or I didn't care about cricket in the longer run whether it will survive. And at that time, nobody thought that cricket would have issues like we have today. So that is the reason, because players have a narrow vision, as I said. Umpires don't have the powers. I mean, over rates, obviously penalties money-wise hasn't worked. The umpires are just looking to push them along, but if the players pretend that they're injured or something, there's nothing the umpires can do. So just more, I think, ammunition to the umpires. And I'd like to see the officials get a little stricter.
What about match referees? He said
match referees is dependent on what the umpires tell him. Even bowling actions and everything. Match referee reacts to the observations of the umpires and they get fined for over rates. Every match, there are players that are getting banned as well. Dhoni missed a match because of over rate issues, but it's still not solving it. Yeah, so that could be answering your question.